There are three digital products I would absolutely not sell as a busy mom starting a digital product selling business. Not because they could never make money, but because they're way too complicated, way too time consuming, or way too draining for the kind of life most moms actually want. So, in this video, I'm going to break down what I would avoid and what I would sell instead. The last one is the most important because it's the type of product that looks good on paper, but can quietly burn you out fast. So if your goal is to build online income, create passive income with digital products, and actually make this work in part-time hours, this is for you. If we haven't met yet, I'm Kimberly Latona. I'm a mom of three young boys. I have a master's in business, and I've spent the last 15 plus years coaching entrepreneurs and building businesses. I have tried a lot of business models, and what I've learned is this. The best digital product is not just the one that can make money. It's the one that actually fits your life, energy, and capacity. Because if the product makes money, but it burns you out, it's not sustainable or scalable. And that is one of the biggest reasons digital products changed my life. So I stopped chasing business models that looked impressive but felt exhausting and started building a simpler digital product selling business that actually fit my season of life. So this is exactly where I think a lot of moms go wrong. They don't choose the wrong product because they're lazy or they're not smart enough. They choose the wrong product or business model because they pick something that looks impressive or that seems like it's going to work out instead of something that actually fits the season of life that they're in. And if you're trying to make money with digital products, especially as a beginner, that matters more than people realize. So the first digital product, let's get right into this. The first digital product that I would never sell as a busy mom is a giant course that I made myself. And I know that that might surprise people because the online space has made big courses look like the gold standard. But if I were starting from scratch, I would not begin there. Why? Because giant courses usually require a lot of planning, a lot of filming, a lot of editing, a lot of perfectionism, and too much time before you ever get feedback and actually make a sale. And that's a problem. Because one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make is spending weeks or months or sometimes even years, and I made this mistake too, creating a digital product before they ever validate whether people want it. So that is not the smartest use of your time, especially as a busy mom. And if you're building in part-time hours, you need simplicity and proof faster. And that is why I would choose something smaller and more specific first. And honestly, this is one reason why I think giant courses are one of the least beginner-friendly types of digital products if your goal is traction, simple execution, and real online income. So I want to make an exception here. So the exception here would be a robust course that I didn't create myself, one that already had traction and testimonials, like the Master Resale Rights digital marketing course that I started with before I started creating my own digital products. I was able to plug right into the system and all the done for you resources and assets and get my first sale within 48 hours and then go on to make over $15,000 my first 30 days as a total beginner. So if you're curious about MRR, or Master Resale Rights digital courses and want to check out the exact program that I started with, you can find the link below in the description. So the second digital product that I would never sell as a busy mom is a vague inspiration product. So things like become your best self, or step into your power, or create your dream life, or live life more aligned. Those used to work sometimes. And don't get me wrong, I love mindset. I love growth, I love alignment, but vague inspiration is hard to sell and it's becoming even more hard to sell because the digital product space is becoming more crowded and there's just more competition, there's more out there. And so you need something specific, okay? People don't buy from people selling broad motivation, like unless you're Tony Robbins. Okay, they buy solutions to specific problems. So instead of be more confident, a stronger product would be the job interview confidence checklist, or how to stop overthinking every post you publish, or the weekly planning system for overwhelmed ADHD moms. Okay, that's a huge difference. The digital products to sell online that usually work best are not vague, they're specific. Clear wins the sell, and fuzzy ideas usually don't. So vague products are especially frustrating because you can spend a lot of time making something that sounds nice and looks pretty, but it's way harder to market and convert into a sale. And that is why your digital product niche matters so much. The clearer the problem and the result, the easier it is to sell. So if you want help choosing the kind of digital product that actually fits your life, energy, and audience, download my free Digital Freedom Business Blueprint below. So the third digital product that I would never sell as a busy mom is a product that requires constant live delivery. Okay, so this could look like a live group program that's ongoing, or a product that depends on you showing up every single day, or a heavy one-on-one access product, or a membership that has like without boundaries or structure. So now, can those things make money? Yes, absolutely, of course. But if your goal is flexibility, simplicity, freedom, and eventually passive income with digital products, I would be careful here. Because the second your product depends on you being available all the time, you start rebuilding the exact problem you were trying to escape. That's probably not the kind of business you want. You most likely don't want more pressure, more scheduling, more people waiting on you, more time blocks that you can't control. That's why I would avoid building my business around a product that only works if I'm always showing up live, especially at the beginning. Okay, so if I would avoid these three, what would I actually sell instead? Here are 5 examples of digital products that I would sell instead. The first one, a specific ebook. Okay. And a specific ebook is a great place to start because it's easier to create, it's easier to explain, it's easier to validate, and it's easier to sell. Okay. You can get up and running really fast without a lot of tech experience, without a lot of editing or anything like that. So, especially if it solves one clear problem. The second thing is a workshop or a mini course. This is one of my favorite starting products because it gives you depth and teachable value and a simple result and a personal touch if it's recording you, if it's a video type of course, without needing to build a giant course library. Okay, the third one is a guide or a protocol. This works really well in niches where people want a plan, steps, a system, a transformation. So think a reset protocol, action plan, launch checklist, roadmap, planning guide in your specific niche. The fourth one is templates. Okay, so templates are great when they save someone time or reduce friction, not just generic Canva templates. Okay, I can go on Canva for free or on the Canva Pro and get everything for free, all the templates and all of the designs and everything. So you want like useful templates for a specific niche, like content planning spreadsheets or inventory planners or meal planning checklists or an onboarding SOPs or scheduling templates or email swipe files. Okay, Canva and ChatGPT digital products can be amazing when they're tied to a real problem and a specific outcome, not just something pretty for the sake of being pretty. Okay, the fifth one is a simple master resale rights starting point. So, like I mentioned before, if you don't want to create a product from scratch right away, a strong master resale rights digital product can be a smart starting point. I mentioned earlier that this is actually how I got started before I created my own digital products. Again, I linked the exact course that I started with in the description in case you're curious. So if you want to learn how to use master resale rights online to earn online, the biggest benefit is that you can skip product creation and focus on marketing and selling immediately. Okay, but it still needs to be valuable, relevant, aligned with your audience, and something that you genuinely believe in. Okay, that's the key. And this is also where digital products with AI can help. AI can help you organize, outline, simplify, and create faster, but it should support your strategy, not replace it. So the 5 types of products, these types of products work better because they are simpler, faster to launch, easier to test, easier to explain, and much more realistic to build in part-time hours. Because one of the biggest things that I want moms to stop doing is building businesses that look good on the outside but feel miserable on the inside. Trust me, I've been there. And I know so many moms who have tried businesses and they have just burnt out trying to make money online, and it just like is so difficult and complicated and not fun. Okay. The best way to build a profitable digital product selling business is not by choosing the biggest or fanciest product. It's by choosing the clearest product with the simplest path to digital income. And that's a big reason why I love simple funnels and free tools like System.io to sell digital products, because they help keep the business lean and easier to manage instead of overly complicated with tons of systems or a lot of connected parts with a lot of places that they can break. Okay, so if you're deciding what digital product to create, here's the question I want you to ask. Does this product fit my current life and energy? Okay, not could this make money someday, or would other people think this sounds impressive, or does this look like a real business? Okay, ask, can I realistically create this? Can I explain it clearly? Can I market it simply? And can I sustain this without burning out? That is the better question. And honestly, that is exactly why I created Digital Freedom Collective. Okay, because inside Digital Freedom Collective, I help entrepreneurs avoid the wrong product and choose the one that actually fits their life and energy, then build the simple system around it so they can start making sales without overwhelm or burnout. And that is how I built this business that fits my life. That's how I earn money with digital products now, not by doing the most, but by using a simple, repeatable system that is mostly automated. So if you've been putting pressure on yourself to build something giant, some giant impressive digital product, this is your permission to stop. Okay, simple does not mean small-minded. Simple often means smart. And especially if you're a busy mom, simple is usually what gives you the best chance of actually following through, building online income, and making this sustainable. So if you want help choosing the right digital product and building a simple system to sell it on autopilot, don't forget to download my free digital freedom business blueprint below. And now that you know which digital products I would avoid, the next question is it actually too late to sell digital products in 2026? That is exactly what I break down in my next video. Watch that next, because when you pair these two videos together, you'll understand both what to avoid and what's actually working now. See you in the next video.